Thursday morning that he's not in meetings. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
Appreciate you coming in. Give us an update of what is happening. Of course, the county just recently passed the budget as you move into a brand new fiscal year starting here in about a week or so.
That's true. That's true. And it's it's a long process as it is every year. It's harder every year to balance the budget. Because the actual fluctuation of the cost. From everything from gas to asphalt. But I feel good about it. I feel good about it. And I don't, as I said the other night at the meeting, it is more money, that we've got to have to operate, just like living at home. It costs more for your everyday life, and it is the same way with the county. But we've got don't foresee any millage rate increase, as far as the county goes. I mean, we'll do what we have to keep it the same. And I wish we could go down. I'm not going to promise that. I wish we could go down a little bit, but we'll just see. We'll see when we get all the numbers together. And but for sure not an increase in millage rate. But and I do want to stress this to people, that a lot of times they wait until the next day after, but the 26th is the drop dead date to contest your taxes or protest, call it what you want. So be sure to look over your appraisals that you got. Not your tax bill. It's not a tax bill you got. It's an appraisal. And it is something that you need to look at. And if you don't agree with that, because a lot of people have went up and a lot of people have really tremendously went up. And so look at that. And that's part of the process. That's your right. And you go into Paula's office there, fill out just a little short form, and give it to them, But if you wait till the 27th or after midnight 26th, it doesn't matter. You got to wait a whole year. You got to live with it. And we've had some questions too. I know her office has been about the freeze. The way it's written. You can actually freeze your property taxes, and that is written the way it's written, and the way you read it, it is the actual. You can freeze it to the previous year value. Well, the way the state looks at it and the way their office is, they go by the state guidelines. It's actually, you can freeze it, but you'll have to freeze it on the notice that you got in the mail. And I'm checking on that. I don't necessarily agree with that the way it reads. If you read it, if you go in and say, okay, I want to freeze my property taxes, and it clearly states in the sentence.
You actually freeze your assessment.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Property tax, your assessment. And that means the value of your home, and you can do that. You can do that, but a lot of people have looked at that and they came in and talked to them, and if you read it, it does say that you can freeze it to the previous year assessment, which you would think would have been last year, but that's something I'm looking at a caller, our state people, but Paula, of course they keep up on it, and the way they read it and the way it's presented to them by the state is. You can freeze it, but it'll be froze at the rate that you got
instead of
yeah. So that's a little issue there we're kind of looking into and getting an opinion on. But other than that, we've got. I know we don't have a few minutes, but we've got several things we would be doing this week. If it wasn't for the rain, we'd kind of surprised us. It's the first time we've actually had a week-long rain in a long time that would really. Slow things down on our road department end anyway. But we had, of course, we got paving ahead of us. That's something that we're going to get into. But we've had two projects we wanted to get finished this week and get done. And one was the grade work over where the elections building is going to be built. We've actually got a schematic there of how we're going to actually get that lot on grade. And then we've got an engineer that looking at the city's got quite a bit of drainage that they've got to worry about when we get that down there. As far as what's always been, there's no drain there. It's really just run off the hill there. But that's something they're doing while we're doing it. We're going to go ahead and get that started, and which we would already probably finished it by today anyway. That particular part. And then we've got the down where the dog shelter. The shelter is going to be. And that grade work right there, we got that clip yesterday, through and got it. What I mean by that, we got all the actual looseness off of it, and we were ready to start hauling real shirt in there this morning, and work through next week to get that done and knock that out. And so that's two projects right there that we can do. I think we can do both of them in the grade work in a week's time. But we got to have a good week. It's just this weather is really it really hurt us. But now, of course, that gives Billy and them a time. You have time. They service a lot of equipment during all this time. It gives them time, to do a lot of things that they normally have to rush and do, to actually on our equipment, But anyway, it's just, we're just working with the weather. That's what you have to do with Mother Nature,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, those two projects, I know you want to try to get them completed as quickly as possible. The animal shelter, and then of course the voter registration.
Well, the voter registration is priority. No, it's priority. We got to get that. That's something we've got to get that building built and get the. We've already been warned by the Secretary of State and our voters people. We've got to get those out and get them into their own, away from any political traffic. I put it that way, and that's an ideal place for it. They have plenty of parking, and plus the city, it's going to help them too on their parking. Once we get that paved, it'll still be a nice facility over there, and so it's going to. If it's weather to get on out of here, we're ready to get on it, get it done. Yeah.
The hearings will be coming up, of course, for the millage rate, and should know something of that in July, wouldn't you?
That's true. Yeah, about the first week in July. Yeah, that's if everything goes as planned, and it looks pretty good. It's according to really after the 26th, then they look at how many people have actually challenged, their property value, and because that's a big one. If you have a tremendous amount, you could throw it later because if you got some, that's a lot of. Yeah, you got to put that in the formula there, and so we'll just kind of wait and see on that. But usually around 1st of July or something like that, or first week in July, or second week. So.
Dade County Executive Ted Rumley, he's with us normally every Thursday morning, and we certainly appreciate him coming in and give us an update of what's happening with the county. Commissioner, how can they get in touch with you?
My cell number is 423-667-8999, and all of our commissioners are listed online on our website, and feel free to go and call them or myself, and we do answer our phones, and we'll try to be there and answer any questions that possible. Or you can come out of the office. I'm there 90% of the time, sometimes 99% of the time. Unless I come to a meeting. But just give us a call, and if you got any questions, pertaining to taxes or whatever. We don't do the appraisals. But I'll sure walk with you down there, and we'll talk to Paula and just see what's going on. Feel free to do that. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir. And once again, that's the 26th to have those appeals in. Dade County